The Bees have been awesome. 16-game point streak.
Yes.
You're a Beantown native, so no surprise to you. I like the way their team's playing. In fact, I love the way they're playing. But this is a big game for the Canes. Huge. They had a 2-0 lead. They relinquished it now.
May I interrupt?
Please do.
The two of you had a spirited discussion earlier. Bolts, Bruins. Everybody thinks they could collide in the playoffs, and you guys knocked that back and forth. America wants to hear it. Go.
Look.
Well, I'm going to say I started it saying the Bruins are great. They look great. They could beat Toronto. That's going to be a great series. But can they beat Tampa? I don't know. Weeksy said he thinks they can. He thinks that there's a club that can do it in the East, it's the Bruins.
Here's what I love about the Bees. Right now, you touched on this earlier. The third and fourth lines going.
Yep.
You remember it was before Winter Classic, and everybody in your hometown wits, well, what's happening with the third line? What are we going to do with the fourth line? What's going on? We don't have pieces. Hey, you know what? One thing about the Bees, as you take a look at these numbers here in the season comparison, one thing I love about the Bees is the fact that they can lock it down, but they can score. So too can Tampa. However, the Bees are now deeper. The Bees are deeper. You add Coyle, you add Johansson to this team. Achari started playing well. Your boy Wagner's playing well. Undercover, Brandon Carlo's been excellent for them, and the goalies have been money. So I look at this, and that Bees team, especially with a healthy Zdeno Chara, they've got some jam and some bite. Yep. So I'm curious to see how that matches up against the fast, speed, skill, super deep Tampa Bay Lightning team. I think stylistically, if there's a team in the East that can do it, I think Boston's that team.
They played a great series last year.
And the point you did make that's great is that Carlo was injured last year in the playoffs. And the year he's had, playing over 20 minutes a game, right around that, I mean, to have him healthy will be enormous. McAvoy's a year older. You remember last year in the second round, they won game one, and then the next four, Tampa kind of took over. But I think it'll be a great series. I mean, I think Toronto-Boston's going to be fabulous if that's, looks like it's going to be that. But after that, good luck against Tampa. But I think Boston would have a better chance than Toronto would have getting by them.
Because they have more sandpaper.
Yep.
And they play with more structure.
Weeksy likes to say,
jam.
The rink shrinks in the playoffs.
It does. It goes.
That sandpaper's important.
Totally. It goes from 200 by 85 to, I feel, and I'm sure you did too, Wits in playoffs, 150 by 50. There's hardly any room to make plays.
Just panicking right? Just like throwing it away. But also in the playoffs, it's special teams, and both those teams' power plays, Tampa and Boston.
Crazy.
I mean, that's 26% for the Bruins, 29% for the Lightning. So you're going to win games in the playoffs based on your power play. Both those teams can score when they're up a man.
Yeah, and another key thing is both those teams can win close games. That's very important in the playoffs. And for a team that's as explosive offensively as Tampa, when you have a team that's that explosive, we know they can win the close games, but do they want to? So when there's not room to freewheel, where there's not a lot of room to have those given goals, go up the length of the ice, attack off the rush, that's what I'm curious to watch and see. But they definitely have the pieces. They're stacked.